Debunking the Nerd had its third episode not that long ago, in which the host goes over the AVGN's review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the NES, and it has quite a few issues. The first thing I want to note is this part of their opening.
Is this game really that bad though? Does it have any redeemable qualities to it?
I dislike the framing of this part, as if James called the game an atrocious piece of shit without any redeeming qualities whatsoever, when that is just not what happened. In the Darkwing Duck episode, the nerd introduces what he calls the shit scale, and he uses this game along with Simon's Quest and Metal Gear as examples of games he reviews that fit in the same general category of badness. Here is what he says.
It begins with games that are debatably bad, somewhat good games with serious flaws, not part of the turd crust but well within smell range.
A clip you show even sees the nerd admitting the game has some superficial positive qualities.
The control's decent, it's fun killing things, sound effects are cool.
That is a far cry from you wondering if the game has any redeeming qualities at all, as if James in some way implied it didn't. I also want to bring up that Debunking the Nerd continues a habit I talked about the last time I covered him. That being bringing up the fact that a different game has the thing being complained about as if that in of itself proves something. When talking about the beeping when you're low on health in Ninja Turtles, he says the following.
If you really want to make a case for annoying beeping, the Pokemon series definitely takes the cake.
Later on, while talking about the infamous gap you can just walk over, he similarly makes the point.
There are other games where you can pass over the gap without jumping, but in those cases, it is not so obvious at first.
Okay, first off, the Mario example is kind of shaky because yes, you can run over small gaps in that game if you're holding down the B button, which is used for, well, running. Both Ninja Turtles on the NES and Ninja Gaiden 3, I believe is where you got that footage from, don't have run buttons. Second off, even if it does show up in other games, that doesn't make it showing up in Ninja Turtles any better. What if James dislikes it being in those games as well? The video also has a habit of attempting to disprove things the nerd never said, such as when the presenter says this about the fight with Rocksteady early in the game.
Easy fight, with no need to exploit the game's mechanics.
But the nerd never said he felt the need to exploit the game's mechanics in order to win this fight. Instead, he just pointed out a glitch he was aware of. Here's the clip again as shown in this very video.
Okay, here's a trick I think everybody knows. When you're fighting Rocksteady, you jump up onto these crates with Donatello and you just keep hitting him with your bow. Now what's really weird is the timing. I mean, you have to hit him when he's sort of ducking, not when he's standing up. I guess that would make too much sense. So it's obviously a game flaw.
Similarly, while discussing the dam level, he notes,
The layout is pretty straightforward, so it is impossible to get lost here.
But getting lost was never one of the nerd's complaints. Now, here I had to get the clip from the original video because it's not shown in this one. However, if you listen to what James says while discussing this level, it's obvious his main problem is the contradiction between a level forcing you to take your time while also giving you an incredibly strict time limit.
So you have to swim around and deactivate all these bombs. And there's so many things out there to kill you, and you have a time limit, so naturally you're rushing to make it through as fast as you can. And all these electric plants hurt you, so you need a lot of patience. But how could you have patience when you're in a fucking hurry? Fuck!
This part right here is the only real challenge. It's impossible to get through here without taking any damage.
That's untrue. Here's a video of somebody doing exactly that.
But the way the nerd showed it, bashing the head into the platform on purpose, is very misleading.
The nerd did that on purpose? Do you have any evidence of that? Because I have evidence of James saying he does try to play the games to the best of his ability when he records footage for the nerd episodes.
Now, of course, as I'm playing the game, I'm recording it, and I'm recording my own authentic experience of playing through it. So, when you see me die in the game, I'm really dying. I don't pretend to do it like I used to, like in the Karate Kid video. Like I was deliberately running into enemies and dying on purpose, but I don't do that anymore. Now I make sure that everything I play is authentic.
Anyway, that's all I want to cover. So, final thoughts. To use a term from the nerd, this video is a green on the shit scale. It is a debatably bad video with some serious issues. Good night, and good luck.